Time for some green tea. It's the second, folks. That moon keeps on moving. Don't you think? Yeah, look at this. I can't even believe it. First significant plane crash of the year on the second, and the chart shows us where we should actually have some fear, right? Holy cow. Look at the time we have on the takeoff here, on the takeoff of the departure of flight 516. I'm coming to you like Martin Sheen because Charles ain't too clean, right? Okay, so here we go. I am extra clean today, and I absolutely loathe the fact that I'm going to be right about how Jupiter is going to make his way through this Taurus house. But we're seeing the breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs are being laid. We are able to we are able to track that lunar cycle. But the other thing is we have to notice it. Look at this, folks. When we look at the departure here, as I said before, the moon. People are going home, right? They were visiting, and then they're going to go home. They're visiting their family and friends at home, and then now they're going back home again, right? Their other home. And here's the sun at 11 degrees opposed the moon, right? And what do we have? Here is this story about trines, right? I mean, when we have trines, sometimes they're working, but why are they working? What are the secret activities behind these trines? Because we have a Jupiter, you know, hanging out here, making an angle to the moon in Taurus still. It's not a, but that's not the trine, right? The trine is actually with Uranus, right? As I said before, Uranus is in the retrograde motion now, and Mercury has gone direct. And the moon is now perfectly square. The moon is absolutely perfectly square Mercury in direct motion in Sagittarius. You know, the plane was flying, you know. Takeoff, right? Look what the sun is. Takeoff, right? The sun is above the horizon. But then as I said before, we have the trine between Uranus and the moon, and who else? Pluto. The Pluto. There's the five dead, right? Oh, it's absolutely insane. I mean, because there's another trine happening. It's only a couple degrees out. I mean, 7 degrees out. 2115. It's almost 8 degrees out, but still that is there for the departure, right? And then when we come over here, it's 5:46. I mean, it's an hour and 46. It's only an hour. Who would ever think, right? 1 hour and 46 minutes later, and look what's on the ascendant now. At magic number 26, yeah. And look who's on the descendant, On the descendant, we have Pluto in the seventh house, which is ruled by Venus and Saturn. Something's moving and it hits something that's standing still, right? One aircraft is standing still, one aircraft is moving, or not moving as fast as the other aircraft. But look at the Uranus opposed Pallas Athena, like we have that in Scorpio, but that the Pallas Athena is actually, yep, that's where it is. It's perfectly opposed Uranus retrograde, right? And then we have, look at this. We have this moon. I mean, the moon has only moved 1 degree, right? The plane is absolutely moving faster than the moon. That's what I say. Jupiter's a quick customer, right? Jupiter's that moon. Jupiter's that guy, right? Is that airplane moving? I'll leave the top off for my green tea. Yes, I mean, you can see the folks. I mean, it's a sixth house. I mean, it's the sixth house, and we have Mars, right? This is the other thing. Now the moon is definitely in a I mean, but the other thing is the moon and Mercury. So you have a Mercury in Sagittarius at 22 degrees. It's squared the moon. Mercury is squared Juno, right, at 21 degrees. And this kind I don't get it, guys. Why does this keep on happening to me, right? Why does it keep on happening? Why do I have to share this with you? Because look at this. The moon, I have a Uranus at 21 degrees. I have a Uranus at 21 degrees Virgo, right? Which is sextile my Neptune in Scorpio at 21 degrees. And then here is Juno, and here's the moon hanging out. Here they are hanging out, right? That's what they're doing. And there's the square to Mercury, my key planet. I'm a Gemini ascendant. Look, there's the square. It's absolutely solid. It's absolutely rock solid. In Cancer, Cancer is on the ascendant. For both things. The moon is the key player, right? And it's making that angle to Pluto. How heavy is the feather? Good old Mott. He's hanging for us. Like a bot, right? Here we go, guys. This is the charts. You can see it. I could go into further. If you want to look at the jam-packed. Okay, so for the departure, it's change, right? Uranus and Jupiter are in the house of change. And then for the crash, look what they've done. This is why the houses are so important, right? And to basically work with this tropical Placidus system, right? Because here we have, they've just moved over, right? It's 16. It shows us how the Earth moves, right? Because the Earth has moved 16 degrees. 16 degrees, 20 minutes. Yeah, that's what it looks like. 16 degrees, 20 minutes. And here we are. Vista is conjunct the 12th house. But holy cow, Pluto's just sitting right above the ground. He's just sitting right above the horizon line, conjunct that descendant. And the moon is the player, right? The moon is in that waxing, because for the next 7 degrees, you can see what's happening. The waxing of that trine will be more solid in just the hours to come, right? It took 3 hours to put the flame out. 3 hours is pretty much 3 minutes or 3 hours is like a degree and a half or something like this, right? And look at Saturn. Saturn in the 8th house, okay? Saturn in the 8th house, with a Pisces overlap with Aquarius on the ascendant of the 8th, or not the ascendant, but the cusp of the 8th house, right? You can see that, right? It's crazy. Well, guys, what can I say? I have a really big podcast I'm actually working on. There's several things I'm working on here for this. This was just a super update of watching Jupiter move forward and watching these planets come out of retrograde. Holy cow, things are speeding up. I'll talk to you soon, and my warmest wishes for you. Okay? It's total chaos out there, and we got to keep it, clean and neat, and with beautifully fleet feet that can not